everyone. Good morning, my dear students. I hope you're all in good health. Today I talk about a new lesson, but before we will start, up in your book, page number 599. Today I talk about a new lesson called Time to the Half Hour. In this lesson, we will learn how to read and write time to the half hour. And up in the next page number 600. Before we will start, let's watch a video to explain this and come back.
Hey kids, I have this problem today, and I was hoping you could help me with it. Will you help me with my problem? Thank you so much. Okay, today I was asked to go to my basketball game at 3:30 o'clock. I am not sure what that means, and that is why I need your help. Let's learn about telling time so I can make it to my basketball game. Here is an analog clock. This clock is a training clock and only has the hour hand on it. Whenever the hour hand points to one of the numbers, we can read the hour. Right now, the time is 1 o'clock. We say o'clock to represent the hour or the beginning of an hour. What time is it right now? It is 4 o'clock. Great job, guys. What hour is it right now? It is 10 o'clock. Great job. This clock is a great training clock, and we already learned about clocks with the minute hand, so let's take a look at the big clock. On this clock, we have both an hour hand and a minute hand. Right now, the time on the clock is 6 o'clock. We say o'clock when the minute hand points straight up because it is on the hour. What time is it right now? It is 7 o'clock. Great job again. On the right side, I have a digital clock, which as we learned before shows time but only using numbers. Both of these clocks show 7 o'clock. The digital clock shows 7 for the hour, and the two zeros show the minutes. Right now the hour is 7 and the minutes are 0, so we say 7 o'clock. This time stuff is really cool, guys. Now that we know what o'clock means, it is time to learn about half hours so I can know when to go to my basketball game. Right now the time is 7 o'clock, but watch this. The minute hand is moving around the clock, but you will also notice that the hour hand is moving as well. While the minute hand went all the way around the clock, the hour hand moved from the 7 to the 8. That means 1 hour went by. For the minute hand to go all the way around the clock, it has to go around 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is how long it takes for the minute hand to go around the clock once. I am going to take the minute hand halfway around the clock. Where would the minute hand point to if it just went halfway around the clock? Let's see. Mr. Clock, would you please move your minute hand halfway around the clock? Now we can see that the minute hand has gone halfway around the clock and has stopped at the 6. The small numbers on this clock are the minutes. The minute stopped at what number? The minute hand is pointing to the 30-minute mark. Halfway around the clock is 30 minutes. Great job, kids! The hour hand is in between the 8 and the 9. While the minute hand went halfway around the clock, the hour hand only moved halfway between the 8 and the 9. This is confusing, because I do not know the hour. Do you think the hour is 8 or 9? The hour is still 8, even though it is past the 8. When the hour hand points right at a number, it starts the hour. It stays that hour until it reaches the next number. Right now the hour hand is past the 8 halfway, and we see that the minute hand is pointing to the 30. We can say that the time is 8:30 o'clock. This happens to be the time that my school starts in the morning. My parents said that school starts at 8:30, and now I know what that means. 8:30. Wow, this time stuff is awesome! We have two clocks here. The analog clock on the left, and the digital clock on the right. The digital clock shows 8:30, and the analog clock shows 8:30 as well. The 8 shows the hour, and the 30 shows the minutes that have passed. If we were to write the time, we would write it just like the digital clock shows. Can you tell me what time it is now? The time is 12:30, or we could say it is 12:30. Great job, kids! We can see that a half hour or 30 minutes have passed since 12 o'clock. If we wanted to write this time, what would it look like? You would write it like you see it on this digital clock. 12 is the hour on the left and 30 minutes is on the right. The time is 12:30 or half past 12. Now that we have learned a lot, can you help me figure out when my basketball game starts? They told me it starts at 3:30. Is this 3:30? No, this is not 3:30. This is 2:30 o'clock. How about now? Is this 3:30? No, this is still not 3:30. What time is this showing? It is showing 3 o'clock. How many more minutes do I have to move the minute hand to get to 3:30? We need to move the minute hand 30 minutes or halfway around the clock. Is the time on the clock 3:30? It is 3:30. Great job! Can you tell me now how to write this time? It would look like this. The time is 3:30. Wow, we have learned so much today and I am so glad you helped me. I better get to my basketball game, so we will see you later. Take care and keep practicing. Goodbye.
After watching the video, let's get back to our book. From last session, we talked about the types of a clock. There are two types of a clock. An analog clock shows the time with hands, and a digital clock shows the time with numbers. Here, let's start with an analog clock. When the hour hand is in between two numbers, that hour 2 and the next hour 3, and the minute hand is pointing to the 6. So the 6 means that half past 2. So when the minute hand is pointing to 6, this means that 30 minutes passed. Okay? So when you read the time on analog clock, you will say half past 2. Here, on a digital clock, on left side, you will write the hour. The hour here where the hour hand located between 2 and 3. Passed 2, but didn't reach 3. So you will write here on left side 2. And here on the right side, here the minute hand is pointing to 6. 6 means that 30 minutes passed. So here on left side, you will write 30 minutes. So when you read the time on a digital clock, you will say 30 minutes past 2. Okay? Here, use an analog clock till what time is shown. Write the time. Here, example number 1. First, look at the hour hand is in between 9 and 10. The hour hand passed 9 but didn't reach 10. So here, on a digital clock, on left side, you will write the hour. The hour here where passed 9. So you will write here 9. And here, the minute hand is pointing to 6. 6 means that 30 minutes passed. So you will write here 30 minutes on right side. Okay? Here, example number 2, an analog clock. First, look at the hour hand is in between 1 and 2. This passed 1 but didn't reach 2. So right here on a digital clock on left side, in place of hour, 1. And here the minute hand is pointing to 6. 6 means that 30 minutes passed. So we know minutes gonna be 30 as half past. Okay? So right here, 30 minutes on right side. So when you read the time on analog clock, you will say half past 1. And when you read the time On a digital clock, you will start from right side. 30 minutes past 1. Okay? Here, example number 3. On analog clock, look at the hour hand. The hour hand is in between 6 and 7. It passed 6 but didn't reach 7. So here, on a digital clock, on left side, you will write the hour. The hour here were past 6. So you will write here 6. And here, when the minute hand is pointing to 6, so we know minutes gonna be 30 as half past. Okay, so here, right side, you will write 30 minutes. So when you read the time on analog clock, you will say half past 6. And when you read the time on a digital clock, you will start from right side. So you will say 30 minutes past 6. Okay, here, example number 4. First, look at the hour hand is in between 10 and 11. This passed 10 but didn't reach 11. So here, on a digital clock, on left side, you will write 10. And here, the minute hand is pointing to 6. So we know minutes are gonna be 30 as half past. So right here, right side on a digital clock, 30 minutes. Here, when you read the time on analog clock, you will say half past 10. And here, when you read the time on a digital clock, you will say 30 minutes past 10. Okay? Limit this. We finished our session and we will complete our lesson in the next session. Thanks, my dear students.